Well, we know what we're capable of. Obviously, we didn't end last week the way we would have liked, but overall, there's still some bright spots. You know, I think offensively we did swing the bats pretty well. We faced some very good competition that last week of the season, which, again, when you play the best teams, it's always going to help you in conference. You know, I think having the number 5 strength of schedule in the country out of 371 teams is something that has prepared us for this moment, which is tournament play. You know, and again, I think we match up very well. I think the Little East tournament's always wide open. I think our pitching depth is going to be a key X factor, because again, you gotta have 4 or 5 arms, some bullpen, some middle relief, because every game is a must-win. Yeah, and I mean, again, I think if we would have executed better throughout the season, I think you would have seen one of those runs where you go on a 12 of 14 or a 13 of 15. But we were our own worst enemy at times, and I think it was a little frustrating because I think talent-wise we match up with all these regionally ranked teams pretty well. But I think it's just baseball is one of those games when you give good teams opportunities with errors or mental mistakes, they usually take advantage, and then we saw a lot of that this year. And we have some young guys in the lineup who I think have really grown up the last few weeks. We've seen some guys really start to turn it around with their batting averages, with their field play. So I'm confident that they're peaking at the right time. You know, and again, I think we've you know, I'm the one who puts the schedule together, and I think we want to be a team that plays any team at any time, and that's something that we take pride in. We just need to do a better job of winning those ball games, bottom line. Yeah, what we're going to do is treat every game as a must-win. So again, with game 1, we're going to start with Lucas on the mound, and then we'll use all arms will be available. So if we need to use some guys who've been starters this year because we think that gives us the best chance against Keene State, we'll do that, and we'll worry about the next game when we get there. Especially with it possibly being a little wet. I mean, every time we go to USM for the LECs, it seems like it's wet and cold, but they do a great job on that field up there. They have an outstanding grounds crew, so I really don't think the weather is going to play that big of a factor. I think, you know, again, it's going to be a slick surface, but you know, with the infield play up there, it plays very true. So I think you know, with us, with our pitching, I feel like if we can get a little bit of offense and make the routine plays on defense, I think we've got a great chance. I mean, we had some low scores at the start of the week, you know, and then we rolled out against WestCon, and we swung the bats well. You know, again, we got some key timely hits. We executed our offense with our bunts and hit and runs, did some different things. So I'm pretty confident that if we click on all cylinders, it'll be a situation where that we can go into that tournament and put up some runs. Again, now you're going to see everyone's best arms, which we have seen throughout the season. Traditionally, the LEC tournament are some lower scoring games. So I think more importantly than the offense will be us to limit the errors and limit the mistakes, because the errors obviously have been a big factor throughout the season. So if we can clean that up and really start to just play clean like we had done before last week, I think that's going to really help us. I think the X factor will be just you know, some guys who I think have had maybe so years offensively, just showing up and playing the way they're capable of. We have a couple guys who are really talented hitters who maybe are in the 240s or 250s, who aren't going to be all conference guys, but really have that outstanding ability. If they show up and play the way they're capable of, I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of those guys put up a 6 for 12 with a couple extra base hits and some big spots. And I also think our running game will be a big factor. I think, you know, with us, when we can get people on base, we can put pressure on teams with our running game and our, you know, small ball, our bunts, different things that we can do offensively. That's how we can really be effective in tournament play.